We discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Top of the morning to you. It's Tuesday, the 3rd day of December 2024, and today, as always, we'll take a look at commodity reports and activities from selected exchanges on the opening bell. Business news stories around Africa and the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business. We'll also take a look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria on the Eastern Business Report. And then finally, activities and conversations from around the market will come to you on Afia. And just so you know, the Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubon Kings. Welcome. Trading on the floor, Southeastern Nigeria exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. Welcome to the opening bell segment, and we're moving straight to check out activities from our selected exchanges real quickly. We're going to be starting off on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning, where incidentally, according to our reports, we're interested to know that as far as the Nigerian Stock Exchange is concerned, yesterday it closed on the high, rising by 0.23% to close at 97,733.88 points. And moving on, a total of 451,165,300 shares valued at 10,150,434,724 naira 7 kobo were traded across 9,329 deals with equity capitalization of 59,245,030,038,064 naira 94 kobo. I'm interested to know while we're looking at the biggest gainer and losers of the day. The biggest gainer of the day was WAPCO, which rose by 10%. Other gainers were the likes of Abid, BDS, AfriProd, VFD Group, and Sovereign Insurance. However, on the other hand, eTransact topped the losers list with a decline of 10%. Other losers were the likes of NCR, FTN Cocoa, Honeyflower, and NPFM CRFBK. We're going to quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges. I'm talking about the likes of the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, the Chinese Stock Exchange, which of course comprises the Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning Indeed opening bell. We'll be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell. We're going straight to the floors of our featured exchange, other featured exchanges, that is the New York Stock Exchange, where interestingly it's a mixture of rises and dips in index values across the board. And it may interest you to know that as of yesterday, we had mostly rises in index values across the board, but today all actually were rises as suggested, but today is mostly rises. We have dips, NYC Composite DJ, NYC US 100 Index, the Just Industrial Average all down 0.49%, 0.68%, 0.29%. The S&P 500 Index is up at 0.56%. The NYC Fang TM Index, Nasdaq Composite, Nasdaq 100 all up at 0.79%, 0.83%, and 0.90% respectively. And let's move over to the exchange at London, where it is all rises in index values across the board. And well, it's interesting to know because yesterday was pretty much interesting the same way. FTSE 100 is up at 0.03%, FTSE 250 is up at 0.24%, FTSE 350 up 0.14%. FTSE All-Share Index is also up at 0.11%. And away from that, let's move over to China now, starting off on the floors of the Shenzhen Exchange in China. It's also all rises in index values across the board, with the Shenzhen Composite Index up at 1.72%, the SZSE Composite Index up 1.67%. The China X Index is also up at 2.50%. And let's find out whether that's the same order of events when we move over to the exchange at Shanghai, where, well, it's all rises as well. Because the SSE Composite Index is up at 0.93%, the SSE 50 Index is up at 0.57%, the Star 50 Index is up at whooping 2.41%, the SSE 180 Index up 0.90%, the SSE 380 Index 0.35%, and CSI 300 Index also up at 1.14%. We'll go on another break, and when we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as a consumer price watch in the April market. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also join us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. The Afia Business Morning Indeed opening bell. We'll be right back after this time out. Please stay. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market speaking.
Great to have you rejoin us, and of course you're welcome back. My name is Ubon Kings. This is still the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Opening Bell right here on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices, and well, it's downward movement for gold today on almost all precious metals this morning, except for palladium, which is up at 0.30%. However, gold, silver, platinum are down 0.30%, beg your pardon, 0.06% and 0.37% respectively. Away from that, real quickly, let's take a look at energy this morning. Energy, well, it's a mixture of rises and dips, with more of dips than rises in index values across board. Ethanol, coal and oil Brent are up at 0.32%, 0.21% and 0.36%. However, natural gas is down at a whooping 3.51%. Oil Bonnet Light is also down at 2.84%. Brass River and Quietball also down at 0.58%. Away from that, let's take a look at industrial metals. Industrial metals, we have more rises here than dips in index values across board. The two dips here that we have the commodities aluminium and of course nickel, which are both down at 1.75% and 1.38%. However, lead, iron ore, copper up at 1.98%, 0.06% and 1.12% respectively. Also, zinc and tin are up at 1.87% and a huge margin of 3.62% respectively. You are watching the Afia Business Morning. This is Opening Bell. Do well to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications and all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on socials, Instagram more specifically with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll take a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market, as well as the hikes in prices of fuel. On that note, I'll see you tomorrow on the Opening Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. The Afia Business Morning will be right back with the segment Global Business. My name is Ubon Kings. Stay tuned.
Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Report as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business, where we're going to be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings, and we're starting off with business news story from Africa, where it's reported that Ghana's budget crisis is set to shut down its government. And away from that to the foreign scene, Tipper wave set to re-emerge after bankruptcy sale. And then Elon Musk requests open AI regulations. We'll bring you details of these stories and more right after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning, and we will begin with business news stories from around Africa, where it's reported that Ghana's parliament is unlikely to approve a provisional budget ahead of the December 7th general election after the finance minister Mohamed Amin Adam initially set a November 15 deadline to present the provisional budget, raising concerns about a potential government shutdown early next year. Traditionally, during election years, a provisional budget is passed in November to bridge the financial gap until the new president assumes office. But if a budget is not passed by December, the government may be forced to scale back on interest payments and funding for the presidential transaction. However, this would mark the first time in over 30 years that Ghana, the world's second largest cocoa producer, has failed to approve a budget before a general election. Now let's look at something very intriguing and some intriguing detail. Now let's take a reference from the IMF Public Financial Management blog. It says clearly that late approval of budget prevents government entities from initiating procurement processes at the start of the financial year based, of course, on the approved budget, especially where special warrants or pro forma rules rather than systematic cash plans prepared by spending agencies are used to release funds. Now, let's put this in perspective now. And now as it stands, this marks the first time in over 30 years that Ghana, the world's second largest cocoa producer, has failed to approve a budget before a general election. Meanwhile, late passage of annual budget undermines efforts to build good public financial management system that would be achieved through continuous review and improvements to the existing practices. Now, take note that the risk of undermining important public financial management reforms is higher in low-capacity countries, those in Africa, whose reforms are still in their infancy. So anyway, we'll still look at how this will play out eventually. We'll keep our eyes on Ghana and keep you in the loop as well to let you know what's happening there. Now, moving on to other business news stories, and this time around outside Africa and into the world of tech, was reported that Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, has asked the federal court to stop OpenAI from converting into a fully for-profit business, where attorneys representing Musk, his AI startup XAI, and former OpenAI board member Shivon Zis filed for a preliminary injunction against OpenAI. Now, the injunction would also stop OpenAI from allegedly requiring its investors to refrain from funding competitors including XAI and others. However, in mid-November, they expanded their complaint to include allegations that Microsoft and OpenAI had violated antitrust laws when the ChatGPT maker allegedly asked investors to agree not to invest in rival companies including Musk's newer startup XAI. Now, for the sake of context, really, I want to make some things clear. Now, the question that comes to mind really is, why does it appear that most persons who literally founded OpenAI are now seeking legal action against OpenAI? In case you didn't know, according to Wikipedia, this organization, I'm talking about OpenAI, was designed to be non-profit oriented. Hold on to that thought. Let's get back to the story. In one of the last paragraph, the second paragraph, it says that the injunction that Musk is bringing against OpenAI is to restrain OpenAI to not become a for-profit organization. Remember, I just read something to you from Wikipedia that it was designed to be a non-profit oriented organization, but then that is metamorphosing already. And for the records, in December 2015, OpenAI was founded by Sam Altman, Elon Musk, take note of that, underline that, Iya Suskiva, Greg Brockman, Trevor Blackwell, Vicky Chung, Adrej Kapathi, Dirk Kingma, John Schoolman, Pamela Vargata, and Wojciech Zaremba, with Sam Altman and Elon Musk as co-chairs. Now you get the point. All right, basically, Musk had been at the affairs of this right from the beginning, from the onset. Meanwhile, Musk had originally sued OpenAI in March 2024 in a San Francisco state court before that complaint and refiling several months later in a federal court where attorneys for Musk in the federal suit led by Mark Tabaroff in Los Angeles argued that their complaint that OpenAI has violated tiering or RICO laws. Now, this is an ongoing battle, but then fingers crossed, we'll see how it plays out eventually. You're still watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning Show TV. Kindly join in the conversation, and you can watch in live right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, remember you should hit the like button and you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. And while you're at it, remember you can also follow us on socials, Instagram more specifically with the handle at Afia Business _ and this is in the beat to have you be part. Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV, and you are watching Global Business. The rest of our stories. And this time we're moving on to other stories. This time, well, let's bring you the report that the iconic kitchenware brand Tupperware is set to re-emerge under new ownership after a U.S. bankruptcy judge approved the sales of its assets to a group of lenders, which finalized in Delaware enables Tupperware to exit Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and aims to revitalize its operations. However, under the deal, the lenders operating as Party Products have acquired Tupperware's brand name, intellectual property, and core market operations for $23.5 million in cash and over $63 million in debt relief, as the company is expected to operate as the new Tupperware Co. once the transaction is complete. Now remember, like I did say this some time ago on the same show, that a lot more of these mergers and acquisitions would continue as the year gradually winds up. And you know, this is no different. This story is pretty much no different. But then there's a certain form of uniqueness that this acquisition puts to the table. That would be the fact that it's predicated on the fact that the acquiring company is expected to operate as the new Tupperware Co. once the transaction is complete. In other words, what that simply means is that they would use the acquired Tupperware's brand name, intellectual property, and of course core market operations. And if you ask me, I think it's a win-win, yeah, because the acquiring company rides on the wave and the popularity of the acquired brand. Why the acquired brand Tupperware in this case scenario still has its brand name Tupperware preserved. Anyway, it sounds like a great deal to me. But then, like the story says, it's not been, you know, completely, dotted lines have not been, you know, signed. But then again, we'll see how it pans out eventually. And in a bid to end this bulletin, and from the world of electric vehicles, let's bring in this report that the European Union and China are expected to continue talks regarding the alternative solution to replace the EU's newly imposed tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles, as they aim to reach an alternative solution to replace the newly imposed import levies on China's electric vehicles. China expressed hope that both sides would work together towards each other, rather adhering to the principles of being pragmatic and balanced, taking into account each other's legitimate concerns, responding to stakeholders' expectations in both China and the EU, while striving to achieve a successful outcome. Meanwhile, in September, the European Commission rejected proposals by Chinese EV manufacturers to set a price floor. However, no agreement has yet been reached, with negotiation expected to continue. Now, let me try to break this down real quick for the sake of emphasis. That the truth is that, well, all this issue has been a recurrent decimal all over the automotive world. And the truth is, until this issue of perceived trade war between China and the EU is resolved, nothing will really change in the electric vehicle automotive space, especially with reference to the European Union. Anyway, Reuters takes us back to the origin of this saga, where it was reported that the EU has hit Chinese EVs with up to 38 tariffs. Let's take a look.
The EU is slapping new import tariffs of up to 38.1% on Chinese electric vehicles. That's over what Brussels sees as excessive subsidies given to makers there. European Commission Vice President Margaritis Schinas.
This value chain benefits from unfair subsidiarization, which is causing a threat of economic injury to EU battery electric vehicles producers. On this basis, the Commission has reached out to the Chinese authorities to discuss these findings and explore possible ways for resolving the issues identified.
Exact levies vary by brand, with Beijing's state-owned firm SAIC hit the hardest at 38.1%. Brussels said it would set tariffs of BYD at 17.4%, while another Chinese giant in Geely hit 20%. Companies that cooperate with the European investigation could face a lower rate. Wednesday's news follows less than a month after Washington quadrupled its duties on Chinese EVs to 100%. The moves come amid alarm among European and US automakers over an influx of cheap cars from the country. BYD saw its European sales triple last year, albeit from a low base. MG, a unit of SAIC, is gaining market share fast. Numerous other brands from the country are preparing to launch cars in Europe. Beijing has rebuked the EU over its probe into EV subsidies. Officials have urged cooperation and lobbied against the imposition of tariffs. On Wednesday, China's Commerce Ministry said it would take all necessary measures to safeguard the legitimate rights of Chinese automakers. It further said the bloc's decision violated global trade rules. Officials have previously called the US tariffs bullying and said there were evidence that some Washington policymakers were losing their minds.
Well, we'll follow the story as it unfolds, and as well as other stories, and keep you in the loop just so you know what's happening. And you may want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel and watch in live. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, do what to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also join us on socials, Instagram more specifically with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live right now on Afia TV. Coming next will be a conversation around the issues and drama surrounding the Port Harcourt refinery. Yes, indeed, that will be the subject matter on the Eastern Business Report after this time out. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.